Hello, this is Nikki Cuesta, your host here at Building a Leadership Mindset podcast, all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I am super excited to come with another amazing guest from our community. We have been sharing so many spaces together, and it has been an honor to meet this guest in person and also share the space of entrepreneurship through our mastermind groups and things like that. But before we get into him and who he is, let's give it up for our sponsors. Shout out to Jose Escobar with the Connected Leaders Academy. Actually, yesterday was 1 year that he came on board as the official sponsor of Bomb Global and Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. So super excited for his continued support, as well as we have Patrick Rude with Rude Financial Services. We also have Julie and Noah with Breathe Capital Planning. Thank you so much for your continued support in this journey of bringing growth-minded entrepreneurs to share their stories and struggles and really give us the golden nuggets that we're looking for every day to make a shift, make a change in our lives to impact others with our stories, with our messages, and with our expertise, experience, and so on and so forth. Without further ado, let's introduce our guest today, and he is Fico Martinez. He's a husband, a family man, and a U.S. Army vet who retired in December of 2022. As a LTC, he is the founder of Growing by Adding Value, which is GAV LLC, and holds the title of Grant Cardone's 10X Certified Business Coach. Fico is also involved in investor relationships with Lightspeed Investing LLC and serves as a financial strategist for Experior Financial. Additionally, he is a relationship and transformation architect on a mission to add value to people. Fico specializes in helping visionary entrepreneurs 10x their businesses by providing cutting edge strategies from Cardone University, securing their financial future through expert guidance from Experior Financial Group, and unlocking the world of network marketing with insights from ACNE. Furthermore, Fico offers personalized leadership coaching, utilizing Maxwell training and DISC assessment to enhance individual and organizational performance. Without further ado, let's bring on our guest. One moment. Hello,
Hey,
great morning, Fico.
what's
How are
going on,
you?
Nikki? I am doing fantastic. How about you?
And not much, just building, impacting, encouraging, empowering. You know what we do.
Yeah, thank you so much for that tremendous introduction. I know it was a mouthful, but I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here in your show. So I'm looking forward for the conversation. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for accepting my invitation. And I'm super excited that you will also be part of our last online business mindset mania this year. So look
Let's
out for
go.
that. He is going to bring some immense value to our community as we continue to grow Bomb Global. And yeah, so tell us a little bit about you, Fico. I know we heard your great bio and who you are. Husband first, family man, U.S. vet. Tell us a little bit before all of that came into your life. What was your growing up? How was it growing up? Where did you grow up, and what was that like, and how did you get to where you are today?
Oh yeah. So growing up, I'm from Lares, Puerto Rico. It's a small town in the mountains of the west center part of the island. Very small town. Um, and I spent all pretty much all my life in that town until I left to the military. So growing up, I was um, very humble beginnings. Um, we were not that wealthy or anything like that. We're just simple family in a town of Lares. I have an older sister. My mom was an English teacher for over 30 years. My dad was a bank accountant for a long time, for over 20 years. And even though we did not have much uh, physical stuff, we have plenty of love from our parents and from our family. Being a Hispanic and Puerto Rican, we value a lot of families, and that's what kept us together and help us through developing ourselves. Um, uh, Funny story. I just went back to Puerto Rico late September. Came back in October because I went to see my parents and for personal reasons. And I took a moment to sit down, like, and absorbing, like, why I am how I am. And it just hit me like, wow, the people that I surround myself when I was a kid is just people that like to add value to others, and they're just uh, very unselfish. Starting with my parents, um, it's like what my parents and my close family, they're all like that. Like, whatever you need, they just stop what they're doing and tell you, hey, do you need this? Do you need that? Oh, here you go. It's like giving. Everything is giving. And that's how I was raised. And I was like, it's so amazing to see that at times it feels like like fake. You don't see people doing like that. Like,
Yeah.
this is too good to be true. And that's how my people are. That's what the my group of individuals that I surrounded myself growing up, that's how they were. Super humble and givers. So I grew up in this little town called a little barrio, we call it in Puerto Rico, called Arizona. And that's where my life was until I actually went to college. So I didn't know more than lattice and going to my family house for for a weekend or something like that during the which was in Bayamon or San Juan, and come back. Or then Ponce, there was another family member in Maya West. It was like a triangle. I didn't know anything else until I went to college. So yeah, it was very interesting. We have a huge family. From my that side, we have I had eight uncles and aunties, and for my mom, there were 14 of them. So huge family.
Wow, wow. Oh my God, you said so many great things. And I also come back from that background, right? My mom is from San Lorenzo, my dad is from Vega Baja, and he has with him it's eight brothers and sisters. They had the Brady Bunch plus two. On my grandmother's side, they had the Brady Bunch. My grandmother had um three girls and three boys. So it was really a huge family. And just like us, we were very tight knit. And that's what us Latinos do, right? But then there's other communities that we don't see that. And that feels like foreign to us when we say we can't just call our aunt, our uncle, and they're just going to drop what they're doing. How important was that, having that at a young age to incorporate that into your family style now?
Oh, it is everything. It is the foundation of what I do. So I go by four pillars that I adopted from recently, but I've been practicing it without knowing. So
Mm,
faith, family, fitness, and finances are my four pillars, and everything that I do is centered around that. So growing up, I went to Catholic school, and for those that do not know that what is Catholic school and how it works, the stories are true. I'm gonna leave it like that. So my first 8 years or 9 years, I went to Catholic school, and then I transferred to the private school. So my mom has been in church all of her life, um, and my grandma, from the dad side, she was very religious too, to the point that you were like, you need to face forward all the time at church. If not, she will smack you in the head. It was hilarious. Now that I think back, it's hilarious. And you couldn't speak to your sister on the side. You couldn't look back. Everything has to look at, pay attention. Yeah. So my grandma Juana, she raised eight kids by herself. My uncles were pretty much yeah. My grandpa passed away when they were pretty young, but yeah. So when I look at that way and that approach of how uh, they were with me. That's how what I use with everyone. It
Yeah.
just build a foundation. um, I have uncles that when I was a teenager, a rebel teenager, they put me in place. They put me
Yeah.
in a place and said, "Hey, I even have an uncle that used to work for the police, and he put me in handcuffs one time. And, you better knock it off, basically. And
Hmm.
yeah, it was they will take action, right? It's
Yeah.
not like nowadays you are limited to the things that you can do, but I still do whatever I need to do in my house. But out there, it's people are like restrained to do what they need to do within their house.
Right.
So, and everything is for the greater good.
Hmm.
And I'm telling you, there's discipline, a lot of discipline, and a lot of earning. You gotta
Yeah.
earn everything. You gotta earn everything. It was not given, especially in
Oh,
those
I
times that
love that.
we didn't have a lot. So you gotta earn everything. You want this, you gotta do X, Y, Z. It's not I want this. Okay, Amazon, boom, it's order for you. No, not
Hmm.
like that.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God, that is so true. And, again, very similar where we knew that we didn't have much, right? But we didn't feel like we didn't have much because the love was just greater. The communication, the times we spent together where we were dancing, eating, and doing all these things. So now you have a great family. You're supportive. You go through Catholic school, private school. Where did the army come from? How did that
Oh,
venture
yeah.
out? How was that
Yeah,
decision?
that was basically by accident. Let me take you back a little bit. Uh, just a few years before I joined the army. Let me take you, what is it, 8 years probably before I joined the army. I was and I tell these stories to the people that have let me into their podcast and give me the platform. So I was the third chubbiest or fattest kid in school when I was in Catholic school. Okay, and you know, you're a teenager, you're not popular, and you're in those days that you start liking a lot of the girls and blah, blah, blah. So I had a crush with this girl that was pretty attractive, pretty beautiful, And one day I decided to write a Valentine's Day card for this girl to tell her that I like her. And I don't know if you feel where I'm going with this, but we'll get there. So I give this card to this girl with my special message, and the girl basically told me that I don't like you. Teenagers are a little cruel, right? They say the truth. This is whatever it's your man. I don't like you. You're fat, and I could have stopped right there. That crush is like a punch in the gut, right? But yeah, I had different expectations, but if you see me, like, oh my goodness, what you were thinking. But anyway, I went for it. I went for it and fell short. So I had two choices: give up, become the chubbiest guy in school, or do something about it. So what I did something about it, and I started running. I started running bicycle. I started playing a lot of basketball. I put a lot of I became an exercise junkie, an addict. Let's say, I tell you how I started. I was so fat that I used to close my eyes and look like a 50 feet away light pole, and run like this and get over there all fatigued. And like, ooh, I made it, and I kept going and going and going until 2 years after that, I lost over 50 pounds. Um, I went to high school. I was unrecognizable, not very popular. I can count on one hand of my friends because again, I was not very popular. I was kind of funny, I think. Then I just breezed through high school, went to college, and in college, I walked into the cross country team for the college, and I got a scholarship. So I ran for college with a scholarship for 2.5 years. That's how I paid my first couple of years in college. Then I'm getting to it. I got to another school that I transferred to study athletic training, And a friend of mine from my same town, she saw me and recognized me and said, "Oh, you were an athlete in X college." And yeah, do you want to keep doing exercise? And I said, "Sure." Like we do exercise. We know we get a group this at 5:30 in the morning every morning, and we go for a run. We do exercise. Okay, she was recruiting me. I didn't know that. I show
Mm.
up, and it was the Army ROTC, and like, okay, this is strange. So the rest is history. I just joined them in 1998. It was fall 1998, and then I signed up a contract with the reserves on 9/9/99. So all nines, September 9, 1999, and then well, I that's how I joined the military because my friend recruited me to do exercise in the morning. I ended up liking it, and I that's how I started my military career.
Wow, I was just like at the edge of my seat, just listening to your story because I never knew that about you. And it only takes one person
Oh yeah,
to
it's
to
always a
keep it
woman.
real with us, right? Yeah, because we tell it like it is, right?
Oh my goodness.
It always takes just one person in your life to tell you the truth, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not the truth because we decide if it's the truth or not, to tell you something that will either shift your mindset. So it was
Hmm.
important for you to, do you feel like that rejection was really what you needed in order to pursue your health journey?
Yeah.
Had
Of
she not did that, do you think that you would have been compelled to make a shift in that at that time?
100%. I think that's what I just needed. That was the medicine, right? It was a wake up call. It was uh, it was something that just woke me up and light up some other interest, some other another fire to get out of what I was. I was stuck and not going anywhere. Um, and again, it just those 2 years that I spent doing exercise, there's a lot of heroes that helped me along the way. They were pushing me, but if not, we'll stay here forever. But yeah, that's all I needed. I just needed that. It just I could have I took a negative and turn it into a positive, and that's what
Absolutely.
people need to do. Um, use that as an experience, learn, move on, and do something about it. Take action.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Powerful, powerful, powerful story. So we accidentally get in the army. We get recruited, right? After showing a passion for the cross running, the fitness, and things like that. You get in the army, you serve for how many years? What do you feel like you learned in that process? And when you were discharged, what happened next?
yeah, so what happened in the military before that? 25 pounds ago, that's when I used to run. Now 25 pounds. I can still run a little bit slower. But yeah, the army, I served from 1999, if you counted the years that I actually served or was part of the military, 9999 until December of 2022. So 23 years and some change. Um, I was commissioned as a communications officer. So I was an officer, which pretty much in my case, we were managing and responsible for managing communications settings. And when you go to the field and people needs audio visual, phones, internet, stuff like that. And it grew, it just transformed, it changed, everything changed throughout the years. But that was my role. And then, staff work and different positions as you progress through the career in the military. A lot of fun, a lot of different jobs. My favorite job was two favorite jobs out of all the ones that I had. It was commanding uh, forces in Korea. I did that for 2.5 years. I have a company that was responsible for what we call a division, which is at over 10,000 people. But it was responsible, my little company of about 150 soldiers and Korean soldiers. We were responsible for providing telecommunications, internet, everything that comes with comms, to the division for major exercises. So that was one of my favorite jobs. We always found a way to make it happen. And the second one was being an instructor of the ROTC in New Mexico Military Institute in Roswell. If people do not know where that is, yes, it's another place in the middle of nowhere. And the only thing that is in there is the school, which is they call NIMI, New Mexico Military Institute, a Sam's, a Sam's, and a Walmart. Those are the biggest things over there. But yeah,
Wow.
I spent 2 years in that place. It was amazing to be able to contribute to future leaders in our military and see them grow. And most there's a lot of them is still in, and I
Wow.
stay in touch with them. It's very fulfilling. So leadership is obviously, you're leading individuals to different missions and different tasks to complete the mission. So yeah, it's a must in the military. You got to lead.
All right. So, what were some of the challenges that you faced throughout your journey, both as a team, right, or individually as well?
Oh, there's no perfect family anywhere. So yeah, everywhere you go, there's gonna be a learning curve. So they normally rotate soldiers 2, 3 years. In some cases, 1 year. If you go overseas and you cannot take your family, you come back in 1 year. Uh, Challenges is you get to reset yourself and learn the culture and the environment again. In a lot of cases, not everyone is going to like you. Not everyone is going to be helpful. There's a lot of people that feel that the new guy comes with a threat. So you got to navigate through those, the red tape and the waters, and every time you constantly have to prove yourself. And the way I progress, I start figuring out this game, the politics, and who do I need to talk? Be more patient with my approaches. Um, so challenges were the people. The people were the challenge and the greatest thing at the same time, because I will not be successful without my teams. Lieutenant Colonel Martinez, we have never made it to retirement if and what I consider a successful career without the support of an army behind me. And to have that support, you got to be good. You cannot be a person that is fake. You cannot be a person that is just looking out for itself. Um, so yeah, it's not sure, like, people. I'm telling you, we have some challenges, but we survived. We made it.
Yes, I love
Even
it. And you actually gave
deployments.
me,
The deployments, for me, the hardest part was the time that you had to wait. And
mm,
and first it was like the initial shock that you are leaving for a year. Some cases you didn't know how long, for like um, OIF 1, Operation Iraqi Freedom 1. We did not know how long we were going to be gone. But that initial shock that hits you, and then all of a sudden, like when you are on the ground, it's mission on. There's nothing else. You cannot do anything other than complete your mission, because worrying about it and just being feel sorry for yourself is not going to change the fact that you have to be there for a year.
yeah.
You gotta find yourself to entertain yourself, keep yourself busy, get wins along the way, so you keep yourself at a level that it will help you last throughout.
Absolutely. And you gave me chills when you said that Lieutenant, and I don't want to mess up your title. So tell me that again.
Lieutenant Colonel.
Lieutenant Colonel Martinez could not be him or would not have been successful without the army he had.
Yeah.
That just gave me chills because as a leader, it's not about us, right? We're leading, but we can't lead if we don't have anybody to follow or to be led. And it's very important when you can have the mindset and prepare yourself for what you're doing today, which we'll get into in just a minute. We're going to take a quick break and listen to our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're a growing tribe, a community of entrepreneurs all over the world, globally, all across the country, high performers, titans of industry. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more clients, more money, more profit, the bottom line, and of course, grow your circle and your network like never before, this is where you want to be. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. We are scaling massively. We want to welcome you in. Check me out on Instagram and on Facebook, the @ JAESCO25. We look forward to having you join us. Take care.
Hello, hello. We are back here with Fico Martinez. So happy to have you. You've been dropping some great nuggets as far as transformation, because that's what I feel like we've been talking about step by step, what we're going into from uh, being born and raised in Puerto Rico. Lares, Puerto Rico, that is. I know my best friend would love that because her husband is from Lares and they've
Oh,
been
wow.
there like 3 or 4 times this year already.
Oh, wow.
So
Amazing.
yes, yes. And, just going through the journey, being rejected to making a life decision to say, you know what, I'm just going to work on me, to then building a friendship, right? A community, to then being recruited to the army, to leading your um your services are done December 2022. You're now back into your family, doing your thing. What happens next? Like, what was the mindset shift you had to prepare for to come back home?
Oh, yeah. Before I do that, real quick, I said I had an army behind me, but I have a general in front of me, which is my
Oh,
wife.
yeah. Ah,
So, my wife, without her, I would have not been where I am today, because she held the house down through deployments. She took care pretty much of the 3 kids when I was gone, uh, doing my job. And without her, without Doris, I would have not been where I'm at today. So I just want to put that out there because not a lot of people made it this far without a strong woman. So uh, yeah, there's a lot of people that
yeah,
unfortunately end up with broken relationships and basically divorcing. There's the numbers are astonishing in the military, how many people get
yeah.
divorced. So we stick together, through the
I
tough
love
times.
that.
So
I love
yep,
that.
just want to.
Congratulations, Doris. You have a great man, and thank you for holding down the fort and supporting your family and keeping that bond together. So we definitely want to shout her out.
Yeah,
Thank you, and that's awesome. Thank you for shining a light on her because it's true. There's the family that stay behind, and they have to kind of stick together, and they go through it just as bad as us who's actually in the trenches.
and
Um,
basically,
so.
she was with me my entire military career because we went to school, graduated from the same school in Ponce, athletic training. She has a degree like me. We were in the same class, and that was May 2001. We graduated. I got commissioned, which is I became an officer June 2001. We got married September 13, 2001, 2 days after 9/11, and then I went to my first assignment in October of 2001. So she with me until this day. So yeah, It's a great thing.
Beautiful. Congratulations.
So let me get back to your question now. Sorry about that. So
That's okay.
the last couple of years of the military were tough for me. Um, I was a go-getter in the military. A lot of pressure, a lot of things to make it happen. I neglected my well-being, and I always was mission oriented. I did not have a balance. My balance was, try to do the best that I could at 1,000% at work. So I had some health conditions that stopped me. They just put a stop. It was a slap in the face. You need to stop. Basically, I had a blood clot in February, President's Day 2021. And basically that was my second one because I had one a couple of years earlier during a mission. And I I knew the second one, you are pretty much, you got to be on blood thinners for the rest of your life. And I knew when I went to the bench I was not coming back. That was devastating for me. That means that my military career was on borrowed time. It was just over. I could not progress anymore. I had to, the next step was to get out. So I ended up being medically discharged from the military. And that's how I retired. So retire medical discharge. So that happened in December. Uh, I went through a lot of mental wars through those 2 years. It was tough. I'm telling you, it was hard. um, I went through depression, anxiety. I had insomnia, to the point that I'm still on medication uh, I because that's what the doctor ordered, right? But I need to get off of that. Them, I don't want them anymore. I feel a lot better, but yeah, I went through a lot, and I found the strength to get on my feet when I started going back to church. I left church uh, when I actually left Puerto Rico, basically, uh, i- i- and my wife is a Christian, is religious, and my kids, she takes them to church, and I decided to start going with them to church, and when that first time I show up, hear this pastor talking, and I thought he was talking to me directly, even though there were hundreds of people in there. And like, oh my God, this guy is just talking to me. And you got the worship portion of it, which is amazing and all that. And like, okay, this is not bad. In this place, people are not bad, and I can come through here. So that's one of the things that helped me. Then I started being more active. I got all my kids are athletes, so I have two that are in wrestling. I started being more present in their wrestling um, practices and tournaments, and became an like, unofficial uh, coach for the kids. Motivating the kids, and I said, I can do this. And I started, I went a little bit extra. I started capturing moments from the kids, like taking pictures and videos of when they competed, and posted them on Facebook and some of the wrestling team pages, and parents were giving me a lot of good feedback. And I thank you for what you're doing for my kids. I can do this as a coach. That's basically what I used to be in the military. I had my soldiers that I used to coach them and mentor them and inspire them. And I said, this is something I can really probably do. And I found John Maxwell, even though he's been around me forever. I found it. I found him, and I got John Maxwell certified. And the story with that is that my mom, when I left to the military in 2001, I think it was 2000, she sent me a book from John Maxwell, which I never read, and dedicated everything. And it was Spanish, and I have it back behind me. That book was with me. I never threw it away. I never like. And I'm looking at John Maxwell online. I said, sounds good. I saw a friend of mine that was a John Maxwell certified. I'm gonna check into that. Hey, what do you think about this? What can you tell me? Oh, it's amazing. Okay, I'm up. I'm signed. So I signed up. I went down to Orlando, got certified in August 2022. And like As- Today, I have almost 40 books of Maxwell with me back there. But it started like that. I didn't know this guy was with me all this time. It comes full circle, right? Like, boom,
Hmm.
there it is. I found this guy. It was the greatest experience ever to be in that room with about 3,000 people experiencing that environment. And that, oh my goodness, it was amazing. So I said, I can coach, and that's what I'm trying to do, coach. I got into financial services with Experior. Now, well, it used to be PHP. I changed over to Experior finances. I found network marketing, and yeah, I got certified with Cardone last month. I got the coaching, business coaching certification, and I found this to trying to put all this together along with my military skills and the skills that I just acquired to add value to as many people as I can. And that's what I'm on a mission to do.
I love that. Oh my God, so many great things. So how important was coaching? So as soon as you got coach, how important was it to share the fact that coaching is important for all new entrepreneurs entering this space?
Yeah, there's a saying, um, even the greatest ever needed coaching and needed a coach. Michael Jordan needed a coach. Tom Brady needed a coach. Every successful person have a coach or coaches behind them, because the coaches was gonna pretty much try to get everything, keep you focused, keep you in the on the right trajectory to success. So it's critical. You get overwhelmed because there's a lot of shiny lights, which happens to me. I have a couple of coaches, by the way. Uh,
I'm
I'm
with
not
you. We
I'm
we
not
share a
alone.
coach.
Yeah, I have a lot of coaches. Last time I checked, it was about six. Uh, in different areas, and mentors and people that you look up to. Without them, um, you'll be all over the place. There's no strategy. There is it's just a bunch of stuff, and that's what coaches come into, uh, to help you police to get rid of the noise and let you focus.
Yeah, it's so important that sometimes we want to go in this start this space alone, right? Because obviously resources are tight, or we believe that we can save time and money if we do it ourselves, but that's not the case. That's actually the total opposite
Mm.
of what starting an entrepreneur business is. And it all starts with an idea or a dream, then it turns into an idea, and then you take action and it starts developing from there. But what a coach does, it really helps you shorten out that time span that it takes for you to get to your ultimate goal, or to your first goal, right? Because we always want to reach the end before we even take the beginning steps. What are your thoughts on that? People that come into this space and they want to not really prep themselves or equip themselves with the proper tools to take their business to elevate it.
Yeah, I wanna link a couple of things here, a couple of uh, like, thoughts and sayings from famous people. Here's this one from John Maxwell. You can't complain and get ahead at the same time. Moaning about your troubles and moving in the right direction rarely happen together. Um, there's another one here, and this is from Bruce Springsteen. A time comes when you need to stop waiting for the man you want to become and start being the man you want to be. Change man for the person. Okay, and great lines is you got to make a decision, and you got to find someone that identify your blind spots. uh, you are where you are for a reason, because you've been the same thing, you've been doing the same thing that got you there. You need another perspective, you need someone else to get out the best of you, right? And if you don't reach out for help, you're gonna get stuck. You can't complain, like it says right here. You can't complain and get ahead at the same time. You're complaining, you feel swamped, you feel stressed, you had anxiety. You gotta do something different. That's what is the body, but that's what it's telling you. That's the message. You gotta do something different. You gotta change something. And to do that, you gotta take massive action. And a massive action sometimes means that you have to invest in yourself, even though you do not have much yet, but you have to invest the best bang for the buck so you can get ahead and start getting unstuck. So a lot of people don't see growth and they just settle for average, and that's not my mentality. You cannot
Yeah.
settle for average. You gotta go for it. You gotta take massive action.
Yeah. I love that you said that because it's so true that we just stay complacent in where we're at. We know we're miserable. We know we're not happy. We know we're not living in our purpose. We know that there's more out there. We're seeing people, leaving these lifestyles. Some could be true, some can't, because we don't know what, social media is showing us these days.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's there and it's possible and it's real, but you're so scared because you don't know what you can do with it when you get there, right? It's
Yeah.
always like, oh, that's not for me. Yes, it can be for you. If you say that is for me, you can go and manifest that and you can go create that. But how would you give someone who's in that mindset? What type of advice would you give them if they see something, they're like, oh, I want to be that. I want to do that. What would you
Sure.
tell them to do?
Yeah. So the first thing is fear is the biggest killer of dreams, right? So you can fear all you want and stay where you are in a comfort zone, but you have to step outside your comfort zone to grow. Um, you better take a chance now than regret it later in your life. I could have all those words, and live a life of, regret. You don't want to live that. What's the worst that can happen? You know, you just made a mistake, got it. And I got another thing from John Maxwell. Sometimes we win, sometimes we learn. You learn from it. If it didn't go your way, you learn from it, and now you are better positioned than you were before. Okay, don't go it, don't go for it alone. And make sure that you're talking to the right individuals, not the people that are at the same level. If you want to become something greater, you gotta look for advice and mentorship. And you don't have, it's not that you have to talk to them, but you start watching, following people that are where you want to be, not your little Joe friend from Lares that is sitting in the corner and he lives with her mom and dad still. What do you think about this? What do you think they're gonna tell you? Oh, I don't think you should do that. Oh, no, 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 no. You're not cut for that. Like, no, you look for advice up, follow people that are higher and where they are where you want to be, and you get a better chance of getting ahead in life.
Yeah, good stuff. And fear is something that we create in our minds.
Yeah.
Because fear really for me is non-existent. I mean, I say I'm nervous, I'm scared, when I'm about to do a podcast or when I'm going to speak on a stage, those are just emotions that we have. But true fear cannot exist if you want something greater, right? You
Hmm.
can't have fear and want the lifestyle at the same time. You have to choose. So you have to walk without fear and risk. We risk all the time. And that's a big thing that we tend to do. We don't see when we're paying for coaching, when we're paying for a program, we don't see it as an investment. We see it as a expense, like, oh, I'm just wasting money. Maybe I might make it, maybe I don't. But what if you do, right? It's like all those things kind of go in our minds, and it's just insane. When I decided to just walk away from my 14-year career in healthcare, I
Mm.
had no idea what the next 5 years were going to look like. But I said, you know what? I'm going to create it. I know what I want it to look like. So the only way that it can look like the way you want it, if you create it yourself, right? How do you do that? You get with what Fico just said, with people that are living the lifestyle that you want. people that have the knowledge, that been there, that been through the struggle, that had the fear at one point, but decided to break those chains and those bondages that held them back for so long. And it's really not success just for income, right? It's success for just your peace of mind, for the legacy you're leaving behind, and so on and so forth. So thank you so much for all the golden nuggets you dropped. I love those quotes. I'm gonna have to rewatch those again, write them down. I'm gonna have to get a couple more John Maxwell books as well. Also, wanted to kind of touch base on, so you have coaches, you get these certifications, Grant Cardone. What are you working on now? What is your goal for the rest of 2023 for fourth quarter? And what is coming up in 2024?
Yeah, I continue to work. My number one priority is to get the business coaching going. Um, that's my number one priority. Second priority is my finances services, which I have a very solid team in both areas. I have them right behind me. So it is a matter of the breakthrough is coming, and I know that. So next week I'll be in Arizona for a business coaching um, camp, or basically, or for 3 days or so with 10x with Cardone, and then we got different events coming up. My main thing is networking. You got to network, know as many people as you can. Build relationships. That's the main thing. You got to build relationships. You got the AMA event coming up next 2024. Can wait for everything. It's going to be so exciting. I'm super excited because there is so much stuff that's coming up in 2024. I cannot tell you about what's going to happen in the future because things are gonna
Shift
change.
quickly.
Right? They're
Yep.
gonna change. Um, but I know it's gonna be a year of abundance. Uh, it's gonna be in like an inner abundance and out. And the blessings are gonna come to me. I know that. Why? Because,
Mhm.
like I keep saying, the battle is won. We just need to do is walk through it to get to it, right? And that's from Les Brown. If you want to get to that point, you want to get to your end state in your game, you got to go through all the things that you're going through right now, and you will make it because it's already won. You just need to stick to the plan. In 2024, I expect this to be an amazing year. Um, I'm just going to leave it like that. So, yeah, it's going to be, I'm
Okay.
very excited for it. Podcast is coming up, which is, I'm super excited about that. I'm going to be doing different podcasts, and one is more personal type of things, and the other one is more highlighting small business owners in the community. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you and so excited to be on this journey with you too.
Thank you.
What we're building, separately, but also together, right? And that's the whole power of being in community and having people that are in the same alignment and really looking for how do we impact the world. Have you selected your word for 2024? Have you ever selected a word?
Yeah, I
As
know. Yeah, everyone had this year was a year of growth,
Mhm.
because you're growing, hence
Yeah.
the name of my company, growing by adding value, Gav. So I'm looking. There's a lot of things that I'm trying to do with that, and yeah, abundance. I guess I don't know, prosperity. I gotta look for it. I gotta be honest, but
Yeah.
it's the year of the bang. I don't know, breakthrough. The year of the
I
breakthrough.
love it. And that was actually, you know what? I've never selected a word before this year. Last year, I entered into this space of being in, AMA, CLA, BLN, and all the other communities and building two of my own. So I felt like last year was my breakthrough year, right? Like I broke the gas ceiling 3 years or 2 years before that. And then I entered into the space and I had a breakthrough and I was starting to build, build, build. And then I then decided to say, okay, for 2023, it's going to be all about impact. So impact was my word, and I feel like
Mm.
I was able to satisfy that each and every time I either connected with someone on a call or connected with someone in a mastermind on the podcast. And I'm still working on 2024. So I'll also let you know once I find that
Yeah.
word out. But
So
we have to
so
be intentional.
yeah, yeah. And I want to give out a shout out to your sponsor, the CLA Tribe Chief, call it, uh, Jose Escobar. And um, I'm telling you that thanks to joining the CLA community, I have been able to connect to individuals that are just amazing. You're one of them that have given me the opportunity uh, to talk to their audiences about myself, and I'm building great relationships in this community, and it's nothing but positive what's going on in the community. I love it, and thanks for Jose Escobar for letting me be part of the CLA community.
Yes, thank you, Jose. I met him when he instantly told me about the CLA when meeting Ama. So I kind of met Emilio and Jose at the same time. And I knew what his mission was. And I'm like, I'm all in. I think he had the CLA literally only for about 5 months at the time. And he
Hmm.
was already like 100 plus. And we rode on this journey together, and he was the inspiration to open my community as well. So he is absolutely awesome and amazing in what he does. So definitely, as a coach, as a mentor, a family man, and just all about vetting his community out and making sure that there's enough for everyone.
Hmm.
I feel the same exact way. So thank you so much for sharing that. I will definitely let him know to watch this episode as well. It's just been awesome chatting with you. But how can people get a hold of you, Fico?
So look at that right there. You see that?
Yes.
Very intentional right there. I don't have a website yet. So Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, the same thing. Federico Martinez. LinkedIn is Federico without the dot Martinez, and you will find me. And you can find me posting stuff. Just make sure you leave your comments over there, share a thought, and I'm hoping that I'm adding value to whoever decides to look for me in those social media.
Absolutely. And they will. I would have to attest that you do add so much value, and it comes from a place of just genuine heartfelt support. And I just have to say it on here. And I know I thanked you where I went one time and just kind of was scrolling through Facebook, and you had tagged me on a live that you went on about our virtual coffee and how you felt about it, and inspired and promoted me in that way. So that was so touching, because not a lot of us do that for each other. And I think that was huge and big. And that's what Bomb Global is about. It's about giving everyone the opportunity to be highlighted, to be seen, because we're all working for the same goal, and that's to impact people's lives, no matter how that looks like, whether it's a coaching, mentoring, whether it's a sale on products, whether it's whatever it is, we all want to build something meaningful, beautiful, and for you to just go out your way and do that for your community, I just want to publicly say thank you, and definitely reach out to Fico. Watch him for 2024 because he is about to blow up. I just know a bit of what he has going on there. It looks like there's some other surprises. So I am excited. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and have a great day. And as I always say, make it count.
Thank you so much.